there's something about this United team. Basically, no matter what the game is, no matter what the scoreline looks like, no matter the time of the game, we just that belief is there. We can score. It's not math. So 1 plus 1 is not equal to, right? It's not anything that anybody can articulate and say, oh, there's some kind of like Pep Guardiola style of play that the ball goes from Checky to this person, and that's how we score. No, but the vibe is back. That United, that evil spirit that we have, that vibe is back undoubtedly. And I think today was the final sale. I'm
I
seeing this Diego Pablo shaking his head now, so
I beg to
let's
differ. I
let's
beg to
jump right
differ.
into
So
it now.
No, I beg to differ because if you we'll go back to the previous games. Yeah, the previous game. It's not about the because right now I think United fans have seem to forget what has actually happened in the past. Right. I saw some stats very recently with regards to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer versus Michael Carrick, right? And I took screenshots because I wanted to analyze much later. I didn't even realize I was going to be here. Now, I looked at those stats. First 13 Premier League games compared. Michael Carrick has 9 wins. Solskjaer had 10 in his first 13 Premier League games.
Preach.
Now, draws, both of them had 2 draws. Sounds familiar? Then when it came to losses, Michael Carrick had 2 losses. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had 1. When it came to goals scored, Michael Carrick has 24. If you add 3 today, it's 27. But first 13 Premier League, right? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has 29. Michael Carrick has 24. Goals conceded, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer conceded 11. Michael Carrick conceded 14. That sounds very, very, very familiar. When you now look at how many matches they took charge of and how many wins they had. Solskjaer took charge of 19 matches over 86 days, compared to Michael Carrick, who took over 13 matches over 101 days. And they both had this kind of stats. So it sounds very familiar, and I'm trying as much as possible to keep my powder dry and not believe that this is actually what I'm seeing.
I mean, I think I'm glad we're having this conversation on our rights because
Yeah.
I want to flesh it out and I want to understand what exactly it is that you're saying or you're not saying.
Yes.
Because it's not maths, right? You cannot say that everybody who has the exact same stat had the exact same outcome,
Yeah.
right? So
Now let me clear you just to show that we know you said it's not math, but there's stats and there's facts, right? Now, the fact of the matter is that we had a horrendous performance against Brentford, the game preceding this. We did in the first half, we scored our goals 11 and 43. And basically, if you look at our goal progression in times we scored goals for the most part towards the end of first halves and towards the end of second halves. Check it and you see it's out there. Like even today we scored towards the end of we scored at the beginning of the first half and towards the middle and then towards the end of the second half. So you see that we had a flurry of goals around that time. When I was doing my match preview, you see all the goals and the goal progressions we've had in those periods. The game against Brentford, we did what we call a passive press. You only do a passive press when you're a good team. We did what we call a passive press, didn't press Brentford, sat back in a low block when we had scored 2 goals, and scraped out a win against Brentford because a certain Igor Thiago just wasn't good on the day and was just missing chances and missing sitters, right? And then if he had scored his 3 chances he got, he would have probably got a hat trick. I will not be saying the same thing right now. And that is true because Igor Thiago has been lethal this season, second to Haaland. And then on the day against Man United, he was crap, right? Yes, there's some defensive credibility I can give to players like Aiden Heaven, right? But for a player like Harry Maguire to come out and say, oh, we played really well and we dug in, that is a horrendous performance. And
why?
I might not be the flavor of Man United fans to actually say, when I see it in reality, I will tell you to facts.
Yeah, but
Horrendous
like this,
performance.
what you're describing doesn't exist now, right? Because I'm struggling to, and you hear this argument a lot, right? Is the idea that because anytime somebody loses a match, anytime
No,
anybody
but we
loses a
didn't lose. We
match,
won. That's the
no,
thing.
I mean Brentford, right? And he got Thiago, who normally is a good striker, but had an off day. Anytime a team loses, there are always chances where if buts and maybe it could have been a different story, right? But
Yeah,
that is football. Over
but
a 90-minute period is a test of attack versus defense versus midfield included, right?
but
And
this
who is
is
able to come
Manchester
away
United. This is Manchester
right.
United. We should not be Brentford should not be having more possession, more momentum, making Man United have one shot in an entire second half. One shot in an entire second half.
So
That was a
is your critique
horrendous performance.
that Carrick is not the first manager in the last 10 years
I'm not
to
about Michael
dominate
Carrick. I'm
because
against the
that's the
point.
standard that you're
No, no,
judging
no, no,
Carrick
no. I'm
against now,
against.
right?
I'm against the point that this team is a good team. I'm against the point that this team is the team that that has a never say die attitude. Where was the never say die attitude against West Ham? There was no never say die attitude against
You
West Ham.
mean that attitude got us to draw now? We literally
Yeah, that
scored the last kick of
got
the
us the
game.
draw against the West Ham. We should be beating. That's what I'm saying.
We should, as in how?
We should be. If we are Manchester United, we should be beating West Ham.
What does that mean now?
Tottenham,
Is our bet
Tottenham,
right?
And then relegation too.
we are Manchester United. We should be beating West Ham. If
Hope
we
you beat
are
them.
standards FC and we should be taking the standards really high, let's take the standards over the moon.
No,
We are
from
Manchester
okay, as in
United.
as a light switch. Is it the
Yeah,
light switch that
bro,
we should just turn on?
bro, it's the
We should
standard
turn on the
we
light
set.
switch and become
It's
Manchester
the
United
standard we
overnight.
as Man
Okay,
United
hold-
fans have said. We should be beating. No,
Okay.
the bottom half team should be drawing to Manchester. We should be beating any bottom half team.
I think
The vibes is back. The
No, but
momentum
what-
is back. Everything is back. Look at the stats. It's there for us
Let
to
me-
see. There's stats.
let
There's
me-
facts.
Jude, I
Right.
mean, and I'm sure you're somewhere in between, right? But the way I'm looking at it, the Manchester United that I remember watching, right? We used to go to San Siro with Anderson and Gibson in midfield,
Bro,
and I didn't care,
come back
right?
to the
It
Premier
didn't
League.
it didn't
No, don't go-
matter,
don't go
right?
Europe.
No,
Don't go to
no,
Europe. Come back to the
you're the
Premier
one bringing up
Nah,
the
nah,
Fergie
nah,
time,
nah,
right?
nah.
So I want to use that
Heavily and
as
Premier
context.
League.
And
Come back to the
even
Premier
if
League.
even if it was Premier League now, right? And Anderson had many great
Yeah.
games, benching, pocketing, what's his name, Gerard or Fabregas. He was talking about it on the phone on a podcast with
Rio,
Ferdinand.
yeah. With Rio, yeah.
And then there were games where we played Rafael and Fabio on the wings.
Yeah, against
basically,
Arsenal, yeah.
like the United team that I remember watching, it was not a guarantee that every game we would just dominate from start to finish and beat everybody, 100% possession,
but that
all
team, you
all the
knew.
time attacking. There were many times in our history as United on that Fergie where we dropped 12 point gap in leading the title. We will be losing 2-0. They will come back 2-2, but we'll win 4-2 in the end.
Yeah,
People will
but that
score us
team, you
2-0
knew that
and
they
then
were
we'll come
gonna
back
win.
from behind. No, but it did not start from what the point that me I'm trying to make and why I'm okay with Carrick right now is that it did not start from nowhere. The team built that identity over time. And the idea that Carrick now or any manager now should start from where Amorim left. Amorim picked up from where Ten Hag left. Ten Hag picked up from where this other guy left, where they left, and the everything that's compounded. The idea that like a manager should just step in now and take us back to the standard of beating everybody and dominating all the time, I think is unfair, right? So given the context, I'm okay with what I'm seeing now. I think the quality of Cunha, Umbremo, Bruno, Kobe Mino, and Casemiro, who I don't know how we'll replace, basically. These players that we have are finally living up to their standard, which is not a Premier League winning team. They're not a Premier League winning team. That's not what they are. But they are a top 4, top 3, good enough to beat most teams on their day team. How do you see, like, especially now that we're getting to the end of the season, right, Jude? This Carrick question, we must answer it. And where the team is going, we must answer. Because now we have bed in hand. I've been days to say it. We have a bed in our hand that is giving us good results. But many people, longer throat is doing them for an imaginary scenario elsewhere. Where are you on this whole situation, dude?
It depends.
Loaded question, I know.
For me, it's tough because you feel like there's something good out there that you can grab and put, and then you are scared because of the Amorim Ten Hag issue. Oh, there are managers who are successful and who are there, but they are proven managers. Most likely might not be able to get them. Let's say like people in this guy in PSG, we might not be able to get him because PSG will probably want to keep him, right? If he
Enrique, you
wins
mean?
yeah, if he wins the title, it's a 50, it's like almost 60-40 that they want to keep him. It will be a battle that I don't think United want to waste that war chest. I feel coming from where we were before, it's not easy for the players. Like today, we had chances to make that game like 6 or 7 goals, but some of the players, like you can't blame Meno, right, for not being. He did what he could do, and you can also blame him based up of on his development. That's where I don't know how Carrick would do that, because there's that old format where you are put into a team where there are those older top players in the team, right? Like you come into the team, you learn from them. You ball like Rooney came into Manchester United, or Rooney is exceptional, but he came to Manchester United. He met the likes of Radin Steroy. You learn from them, you build up and stuff. You understand? But now, Meno coming to Manchester United, he doesn't really have anybody that plays what he plays to learn from. So he's also been facing that suffering mentality from Amorim. So now him coming to this level is like he's doing his best at this moment. So we need a coach that can improve on the players. One, two. I think for Carrick to succeed the way we want, we need to offload some players. People like Dalo shouldn't be existing in Man U team lists anymore. There's no point, because he's not going to.
Hello.
He's
Well,
not. There was a clear pass
I
that was
disagree
made to
with
him
Dalo
today.
one.
I was actually shouting, "Do not even pass to Dalo. Take it to the left." There were two players there that could bury that ball.
He's saying that all the managers trust.
I
The
disagree with the Dalo one, but it's all good.
the challenge with Dalo.
Dalo is always available now.
Dalo is always
very
is
fit.
It's not
available.
about being available.
No,
All managers cannot be wrong.
Dalo
That's what
has.
people understand.
There's
All the
something
managers
called.
are-
Oga,
Let me say something
if
to you.
Timber
Let me
was
say
as
something to
available
you.
as Dalo, you would not be where
There's
you are
something
today.
called. That's what
I
I'm saying.
disagree with the
Yeah,
Dalo
thank you.
argument.
Thank you for using that, because Dalo is the only. When you look at our right backs, you can't trust Mazraoui. Mazraoui doesn't have a good full fitness to run that pitch. Dalo has the fitness to run and cover, but when it comes to making ball sense decision, or being at front and making that final
he had Wan-Bissaka there, and he still played over Wan-Bissaka, so I don't get.
he played over Wan-Bissaka, not in all games. It was Ten Hag that chose him for the style of play that they wanted to play. Sorry.
I think I totally disagree with the whole Dalo situation, because
Dalo will not fit a formation that pushes him up front. He's
He's just to me, he's just a scapegoat. You guys just-
No, wait,
He's
Jude.
an easy
I mean,
target. He's
I
obviously
gave
an easy
DJ
target.
Pablo a hard time, right? So let me give you a bit of a hard time on your Luis Enrique take. Luis Enrique is working with Nuno Mendes, Vitinha, what's this guy's name?
Achraf
The
Hakimi.
French guy.
Flying
Hakimi
guy.
up front, Dembele,
Dembele.
Karashika, right?
Kvaratskhelia.
Basically, these are killers on the ball, off the ball. You know, they are very intense, they're hardworking
Exceptional
guys.
talents too.
I have a concern that if you bring Luis Enrique, we're going to go through at least 2 transfer windows of trying to shape a squad in his image, while he's going to be expected to, in that time, meet or exceed the standard that Carrick has set. That's pressure, right? And then every decision that Luis Enrique makes, regardless of what he achieved at PSG, every single decision he makes at United, every statement he makes will be micromanaged, extra, super, ultra scrutinized. And that's not the kind of pressure that anybody can survive under. So what do you
I mean, he
think?
survived in Barcelona. He can survive at United.
Thank you. That's what I want to say.
But Barcelona is not
No,
big.
I don't
Barcelona's
think-
levels are
I-
different.
Reason why he will not survive.
The levels are different.
I don't
How?
think
He had
survive in
Messi.
Man U.
No,
Bro,
two questions, Jude.
Don't
2 follow-up
forget.
questions.
Bro, it's not
Sorry to
about-
cut
it's
you,
about
but
the
remember,
players.
I don't know if you guys remember. There was a rumor that came out that
Johnny
he had-
Boy, this argument you're trying to make.
Remember?
United is
Xavi.
in Barcelona
Xavi.
locally.
Xavi.
The report
Xavi.
about United news. Forget
It's not
about
the
it.
players. See, Barcelona does not make news the way United makes news. Let me tell you
The-
what
the-
happens.
the
at
question-
press conference.
That's what you guys think.
Let me tell. No, it's not about what we think. Let me tell you what happens
Is
at the
the
press
truth.
conference these days. They ask Michael Carrick questions, and I'm an advocate for Michael Carrick in that regard. They ask him questions to try to get headline news, and he's so boring that he doesn't give them headline news. They would ask him, "Oh, what are your thoughts about the conversation between you and Jason Wilcox?" Hello, he's an interim. He doesn't need to start talking futuristic as an interim manager. But they ask him because they want to get headline news. And Michael Carrick does not give them. It's like, oh yeah, we've had. In fact, he's even given in and made them to believe that they already had conversations about being manager and stuff. That's the truth.
But I'm pretty sure they're having a conversation, right? But Jude, what,
No,
what I'm
for
trying
real.
to
Yeah.
what I'm trying to find out from you is, one, do you think Enrique has what it takes to handle the unique noise, right, that he's vulnerable to at United? And two, do you think the Glazers would back him with the kind of players he needs to perform at the level that he needs to perform?
Oh,
So-
is that for me?
So for
Yeah,
for,
no, that's for Jude. That's for Jude.
Okay,
Still,
good,
hold
okay.
on.
for the first one, it's simple. He'll be able to match up whatever you give him. That's one. That's what I know. He might not win the league this season, the next season that we're entering, but he'll probably come among the top three. And on top of that, he'll probably the winning the league might be the next 2 seasons, or next 2 seasons, I believe. But the problem for him to win that league, which goes down to the second question, I don't think the Glazers will back him enough. I don't think they'll back him enough, which is
You mean
why
Ineos or the
he's
Glazers?
Ineos, both of the owners of Manchester, the management of Manchester United. I don't think they'll back him enough the way he has at PSG. Barcelona already had the talents already. He just was at the right time being in Barcelona. Barcelona already had the talents and were able to do it. And so coming to Man U, these players will not be able to give him 100% of what he wants on the pitch. So they'll probably give him 50, 60 of that energy, chasing around, playing around different positions. Players won't give him. Will probably be back to it will almost be like Ten Hag, where we're considering like confused and consider a lot of goals. So I feel if we want to maintain the same players and gradually just adjust, Carrick might be our better option, our safe bet. We just
Yeah, no,
and we're not dying. We can just change 2 players and manage next season, and then change another 2 and manage. That's what I do. But I don't think Man United board will back, considering what they did to Amorim. I don't think they will back Carrick for more than 1 season. After this window that is coming, Carrick is going to struggle the next window. He will have to either sell some players to be able to raise money. That's where they will now start being money conscious and stuff to buy one
first
of them.
off,
That's what
first off, big up, Shegun. Good to hear from you as well. I don't think we'll be doing any congratulations. Don't worry, because United and Arsenal are ending trophyless this season, so we'll see ourselves in Champions League next year. But Johnny Boy,
Month of May, don't worry, it's not far.
Oh,
no, but Johnny Boy,
you want us to
I want to get I want to get your take from the outside, right? Because I think if anybody should be able to appreciate the X factor that I'm trying to highlight in this conversation, it should be an Arsenal fan, because Arteta does get it. He tries to inspire the team, right? He burns their clothes. He brings in pickpockets to steal their wallets. He tries to create atmosphere in the training ground of
Boys on
Anfield.
fire.
He does all these things, right? Because I think he understands that like there's an energy, there's a vibe that you cannot necessarily plan for, account for, that you have to create. So I mean, from your perspective, do you think, first of all, do you see anything from this United that is like, okay, this is a foundation that even if not Carrick, right, somebody else can build on? Or in your opinion, is it just vibes, basically? And then, if you can be honest and put yourself in a neutral shoes for
It's
a
not
few
gonna be.
minutes,
It's definitely not gonna be.
who do you think? Do you think Carrick should be given the job, or that United should go with, on paper, like an Enrique or somebody else?
I mean, if you guys remember at the beginning of the season, I said when United fans were crying over your transfers, like, to me, you guys had a good transfer window. You guys signed proven Premier League players in Cunha and Mbeumo. From last season, they were literally typically the best players in their team and one of the best players in the league. So already you guys had a good window. I know you guys didn't sign the midfielder that Amorim wanted, but on paper you had a good squad that should be able to compete at least for the Champions League. So you guys are just doing what I expected you guys to do. Obviously, Carrick has come in. What Carrick has done is to come and give the cool and good factor for the team, because the players obviously were not. I don't think they fully bought into Amorim's system, or even if they did, they couldn't implement the system. So I think what Carrick came in It's okay. Yeah, we're going to disband all this crap, and everybody's going to play to their strengths rather than trying to fit them into a Amorim system. And it has worked for you guys. So when the players are happy, like I said, we've seen this before under Oli. Thank God DJ Pablo brought it up. It's the same thing that happened under Oli. When Oli came in, United was struggling, and he came in, an ex-player, no pressure. Don't forget, Carrick came in without no pressure. Whether people like it or not, he came. His job was just to try and better what Carrick Amorim did, or at least maintain where Amorim was. So in a way, he wasn't under so much pressure. So he has come in, brought the goofy factor. You guys have come in, done what you're supposed to do. Kudos to you guys. Like you said, you guys have beaten most of all the big six, I guess. So that's a good sign. In terms of keeping Carrick, I think his friends and pals are saying you guys should keep Carrick. And I want you guys to keep Carrick, obviously. Because I want to see, and this is me being honest, I want to see whether he's another Oli or he's Carrick on.
No, but I'm asking for your judgment now, right?
That's what I'm
Because
saying. In my honest opinion, he has
you're,
got
you're,
some
you're the one that
players.
I'll push back on the Ole points, and